Most people are watching Welcome to Derry thinking it's a story about the town, the kids, the families, about people trying to survive something evil. But after rewatching the finale, digesting some breakdowns and theories, and paying attention to who the story is really orbiting around, I realized we've been watching this show from the wrong angle. And once you break this down layer by layer, the emotional center shifts, the timeline logic clicks, and the main character quietly changes. And then the entire narrative sort of flips. But before we jump into this, make sure to grab your popcorn. Welcome to The Real Spot. I'm Bobby Foster. Let's dive in. Before we talk about timelines, before we talk about bloodlines, we have to ask a simple question. Who actually is moving this story forward? Because if you look closely, the humans aren't the ones really initiating anything. They never start the events, they only react to them. They react, they respond, they survive, or they don't. But every major shift in this story happens when something else decides it's time. When that fear escalates, when the generations get pulled into those same patterns, nothing moves until that force tells it to move first. Every moment that has kind of felt random, we realize is not accidental. And you could even argue that the entire structure of this show is also designed around that force, which is Pennywise, which is it. It's the reason why the show's even moving backwards in time as the seasons progress. Like, it's not a gimmick like some people thought, it's an actual perspective. And in storytelling, the character who initiates change is the most important, which leads to the next layer. A lot of viewers think Pennywise is time traveling, but that's not exactly what's happening. He's omniscient, meaning that all moments exist for him at the same exact time. Past, present, future, all layered on top of each other. He doesn't move through time the way humans do. Time kind of moves around him. Just like we aren't really moving through time as the show goes on, we're witnessing these snapshots of these moments of Pennywise. We're watching something that already knows the outcomes of everything, navigating inside of that piece of time. Like when Pennywise pulls Will under the water and says, "You'll burn too," he was alluding to his future death in the movies, which means that he knows what's going to happen in the future. So it's really cool to think, like, you think he's foreshadowing things, but really he's coming from the place of it just being a memory. Just like when he tells Marge her future as well. To her, it seems like this premonition, but he's just recalling it. And there's one outcome Pennywise is painfully aware of, which is his own death, right? And that omniscience kind of turns that knowledge into torture. That knowledge reframes everything, because since he already knows how his story ends, the only option left is for him to destabilize everything that leads there. Not to necessarily change the future, but to collapse the path towards it. Which explains why this show is so obsessed with ancestry. Real quick, if popcorn is part of how you experience movies and TV, this stuff right here is on another level. Opopop has a bunch of unique flavors and they're amazing. Doesn't feel heavy and definitely makes watching TV a better experience. Get one of their bowls, get one of their flavors, pour it in here, cover it, put it in the microwave, shake it around when it's done, and you got some premium flavorful popcorn. I'll put my link below if you want to try it out. And this is why the reveal with Marge is important and changes everything, because she's not just Richie's mom from the movies. She's proof of Pennywise's intent and his plan. Her existence confirms that the story centering around these kids in this season was not random, because Pennywise isn't targeting random people. He's targeting bloodlines. He's targeting the root of the loser club, the origins of the people that defeat him. That's why characters like Marge and Will are like disproportionately important. They aren't just these characters in danger. They're the necessary people that Pennywise has to target and take out so that he can break the timeline that he's trapped in. He's not just trying to win in this moment. He's trying to erase the conditions that make his loss inevitable. And once you see that, another strange detail clicks into place. To us, Welcome to Derry is like a prequel, but from Pennywise's perspective, it's more of a sequel. It functions differently. He's reacting to something that's already happened. His motivation doesn't start before the movies. It starts from after the movies, after he's defeated. After the ending, he can't change, because no, he cannot change the future. He's not trying to kill these kids so the future doesn't happen. He's trying to create so much carnage that the timeline breaks. This is what I've seen from people that know the ins and outs of it completely. Like, this is what they're saying that Pennywise is trying to do. And since his ending can't be altered, the only option he has is to destroy the story itself. And so that's why we're going to be moving backwards through the eras as the seasons go on. He's not just revisiting history. He's going backwards through the bloodlines, trying to take out people in the losers club, their ancestors, to try and destroy enough people in that family tree so that he can escape the timeline where he dies. He's searching for and trying to cause instability and fracture points so that version of reality can't hold together anymore. Which brings us to the final realization. Welcome to Derry is not about humans trying to survive Pennywise. It's about Pennywise trying to destroy the story where he loses. That's the real engine of the show. He drives the pacing, he defines the stakes, he determines which lives matter and when. And on a very real level, he's the reason the narrative is even structured how it is, where instead of moving forward in time, the season's progressing backwards through time. The structure itself is his journey. The humans are not the focus. This isn't a town haunted by a monster, it's a monster desperately trying to rewrite the story that he's trapped in. A cosmic force that knows the ending and can't live with it. And once you see that, the show just rearranges itself. If this video reframed welcome to Derry for you even a little bit, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe so you can see more videos like this in your feed. I'm Bobby Foster, and keep letting stories make your life a little lighter.